All right, welcome to round 6 of Grand Prix Providence. This is a legacy Grand Prix brought to you by TJ Collectibles, which is tjcollect.com. Visit those guys. I'm Rashad Miller, joined by Ray Ponzolani in the booth, and we are about to watch Ben Stark.
Pro Tour champion Ben Stark.
Pro Tour champion Ben Stark, and Corey Mcduffie. I think it's capital D.
Grand Prix top 8 or the last.
Yeah, he's got a Grand Prix top 8. I think he is a Star City Games Open champion.
All right, so he's.
But then we also have to say that Ben Stark is a Draft Open champion.
Yeah, because I mean, we have to say these things only because whenever we talk about you, you always make us mention your top 16 in the Pro Tour. You don't respond unless we.
I'm top 14.
Top 14. Top 14.
Get it right.
Sorry.
I'm a top 14 competitor.
He's a top 14 competitor. It was a. You get more points for top 14. You probably want to keep that.
No, I know what it does.
So here we're about to start here. Rashad showing off his stuff he's got in today. And donate him a Japanese Bludgeon Brawl because the Bludgeon Brawl that...
I do accept upgrades to my EDH deck.
And he got a Battle Skull. If I open any foil mythic rare, it will be given away to the viewers out there. Anything at all.
Oh man, they're going to be rooting for you. All right, so these players, they are looking at their opening 7. At least Corey's looking at his. Corey, capital D, Mcduffie.
Corey Mcduffie is Jace the Mound Sculptor, Force of Will, Underground Sea. Can be a number of decks. And Ben Stark has Wasteland, Force of Will, and looks like Merfolk. So it could be Merfolk against some sort of control variant on Corey's side. With Legacy using a lot of the same cards, it could be a number of different strategies. You can never tell exactly what they're on until it's
not like I remember the extended format where you could tell what someone was playing just by the first land they laid.
Yeah.
They go land, and you're like, I know what deck you're playing.
This format is nothing like that, and Ben draws a Vial on his first turn.
Ooh, any missteps? No missteps.
Looks like there's a Force of Will in Corey's hand, but
this might be worth Force of Willing.
Ben has a Force of Will too.
There's also a mental misstep, I see. I think he's going to pay 1 for this mental misstep.
Yeah, because there's no island on Ben's side.
I've seen people pay the 1 for mental misstep when they've had to, instead of just paying the 2 life and then getting dazed out.
If you paid attention on the Frolik Josh Underlanded matchup, they were really playing around days carefully. There was multiple times that they could have just paid the blue and made sure to play around days.
I think a control matchups, even that 1 mana always matters, but that 2 life probably ever matters.
Back.
Right, so the misstep battles are happening. It's like a missteppers club.
Here's Corey. Corey has a Force of Will and a Jason Mind Sculptor to remove. Here's Force removing Jace, and Ben looks like he might force removing Curse Catcher. Okay, Force removing Curse Catcher there.
See, right now, you can see how, if you're not familiar with Legacy, you can see what a big deal Eighth of Vow is for both sides of the table. Ben really wants it to play, and Corey knows that he just can't win if it is.
So Corey's going to be... Ben only has 1 card, so this Vow might not be awesome for him, but regardless, he has a Vow in play. He has at least 1 creature, I think. As a Wasteland, probably use the Waste... What do you use the Wasteland here? Maybe Dark Confidant? I mean, Underground Sea to avoid another Dark Confidant?
Possibly. I think green isn't as scary. Green, you get Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf, yeah.
Black, you get Dark Confidant. I guess if you have to pick one or the other, you'd rather race a Dark... you'd rather race a Tarmogoyf than let them draw cards off a Dark Confidant, I think.
And also, he could be playing Team America, so you'll dodge him to Chorox too.
True. If he doesn't know what his opponent's playing, which could be Team America.
Underground Sea. He draws the hit to Turok. Corey draws the hit to Turok.
So it is Team America versus Merfolk.
Violet goes to 2. Now here's a Wasteland again for Ben. This immediately takes out the Tropical Island. Jace the Mind Sculptor picked up, and Silvergill Adept draws a card, draws a Vial, and Ben has a standstill in hand right now. Can't play it.
He just drew an island, so he's halfway to casting that standstill.
Yeah, and you just played a Vial again. I'm guessing he could use it as a bluff attempt, but if he just plays Island Vial, seems alright for him. Alright, keeps the Vial in hand.
I think I would have tried the Vial.
He wants to maybe bluff Force of Will, bluff having more creatures.
I guess that helps. It also, I mean, it makes him susceptible to him. I don't know if he was playing around him.
He's not 100% sure either. There hasn't been any Team America plays done yet. It could be the Stoneforge deck.
I mean, he's the color. If someone's bug, I think you assume the bug being blue, black, blue, green. You have to have you have to respect the fact that it could be Team America and there could be him the Torox coming out of this deck.
Inquisition is going to get the Vial now, or the Standstill. You probably take Standstill because you're behind. There's a clock.
All right, so now it's going to be Silvergill Depth all the way.
And
see how
Ben
far this
just
guy
plays
can
the
get
Vial
there.
now. There's no reason to keep it.
Yep, there's no more secrets.
Corey's still relatively fine shape, considering how everything's played out. I feel like he has lots of cards still. Plays a Misty Rainforest. This could be a Himiturok right here. I'm not sure if Corey had any other plays, but Himiturok.
All right, here comes him. I don't think you wait. I think you just him. Even if it's just for one card. 1-for-1 is still pretty good.
It's not going to be another opportunity to really get it. So there's him.
Unmute.
Can't see what he discarded, but Ben loses the card. Draws for his turn. And plays a Mutavault. So now he'll have another attacker. Corey will take another 2. Untap. He does have a chance in Jace if he draws a land. Does not draw a land. It looks like it's a Putrefy. So now we have the Vials at 2 and 3. Here's Putrefy that could potentially get the Mutavault. But there was Wasteland that could get it too. Let's see what Corey decides to do.
Corey's thinking.
Putrefy.
He goes with the Putrefy.
He doesn't want to drop under 3 lands just because he's 1 land away from Jace.
That's a good feeling. That's not a land. You can see he's a little bit upset. He needs that 4th land. Get that Jason effect. And then he can easily...
Ooh, and Wasteland gets rid of the Underground Sea. Corey draws a Pernicious Deed for his turn, which could be huge.
That was quite the setback. And I
now
think Ben
Corey
knows
drops
that Corey needs to get to 4 land. I think he knows that 3 land is not enough for what he wants to do, and that he's not going to use his Wasteland to get rid of that Mutavault unless he's going to die.
And Corey can't play his Pernicious Deed now because he'll just die to the creatures. And he has to save his Wasteland to get rid of.
Well, he could play Pernicious Deed
and then lose to both of those guys.
No, he could deed for 0.
Does the deed hit non-land, or does it say creatures?
Deed says creatures, artifacts, and enchantments. So
he decides not to do that though. Corey will drop the 2. Silvergill Adept draws a card.
I actually don't know. I think this is looking pretty bad for Corey. Not sure if he can draw anything. Yeah, he just packs it up.
And Ben takes down game 1. While the players get ready, Corey might want to blame his loss on someone like Kibler.
Oh, man.
GamingEtc. reminds you to always blame Kibler. Blame Kibler t-shirts, monster binders, all available at GamingEtc. That's GamingEtc.com. Blame Kibler on Facebook at tinyurl.com/blame Kibler. And if you're trying to save a couple dollars, use the coupon code GG's Live to save 10% off your entire purchase. And if your card's out of stock, just blame Gilder. He probably bought them all.
Yeah, if it's out of stock, it's definitely. Kibler does buy a lot of cards that you want to buy. So if you don't see it, it's because he already bought it. Look what I got back
You got your token.
to go with this token. And this token.
So these used to be alright, but you barely could see them. These are pretty awesome. What did he do this with?
Paint, I guess acrylic, whatever paint he uses.
That's real nice. We just painted over you, got rid of your face too. You're like, I don't know.
Just give me a cartoon. Can you give me a cartoon face? Just a smiley face.
So, what do you think they're bringing in here? Ben at least knows what he's playing against. Standstill seemed pretty sweet. I like how Standstill in the past few years just bounced in and out of Murphy. Of when it's good and when it's not good. Now with mental missteps a little better.
Danny True.
Actually, I mean, Standstill is one of the better ways to draw cards in Legacy. If you're just looking for pure, this spell draws me cards, and a quantity of cards, that's probably, 2 mana for 3 cards.
I always forget about Merfolk. That they just don't play Brainstorm. It's the only blue deck that won't play Brainstorm.
You don't need it. It doesn't.
It's
not a Merfolk or a counter spell.
Yeah, you don't need it. But isn't it weird to think like, wow, Brainstorm's like the best blue card?
But I mean, Brainstorm is there for card selection, and if you look at the Merfolk deck, it's land, lords, and counter spells.
Lots of
and I guess there's a situation where you're like, you may need a counter spell really bad now instead of this creature. But usually, if that's the case, then you just go with I drew all my creatures. They all pump each other, so let's go with the creature plan. I drew all spells, I guess. I'm the control deck with my one creature counter spell.
The best draw card of the Merfolk deck is Silver.
It is. It's 2 mana for 1 card and a 2/1. That becomes a 3/2 and then 4/3.
It's just awesome.
I don't know if I call it awesome, but it's pretty darn good.
It's just awesome.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's awesome.
Cards in Rashad's EDH deck.
It's not in there. It might be.
Kirin Toy.
I think it might be too slow.
Put a charge counter on Kirin Toy. Remove X charge counters from Kirin Toy. Add X +1 colorless mana to your mana pool.
+1. So you can just
it
tap it
well
for
with
1.
Logic Roll. Because it's equipped.
It does.
Does it lose all its abilities? I can't tell.
Yeah, it's funny because you asked not to ripple, and that's like the most expensive deck ever. I was trying to think about how much it costs. Like, if it's a standard list or whatever, it's like 4 underground to drop 2 bio, all fetches, wastelands, like, chases, horses, goyves, cop. It's literally like $1 billion.
Player's almost ready to go.
Well, this could be a trick. They're going to be shuffling up and setting up for another pile shuffle.
Being the cheap deck, it's not much like,
I really hope we see more different decks.
It is, well, you know what? A lot of times when you go to Grand Prix, you got a lot of teams, they all work together, they develop their deck, and they go, oh, well, this is the best deck, or at least how the better decks should look.
Yeah.
And so they all look similar. You have Stoneforge, Mystic, and Counterspells. That's the best control deck, and people, the spikiest of the spikes out there, are going to play that deck. And there's a lot less being restricted by the card availability because, all these people work together and they have access to, they have big networks, access to a lot of cards, so they can actually get enough cards so that everyone on their team can play the decks that they actually want to play instead of playing the decks of the cards that you have.
How is this, your EDH? What is your general go-to?
Yep, Godo Bandit Warrior.
How is it? Is it good? Is it better? Do you like it?
It's okay.
If you're in an EDH tournament, would you play in an EDH tournament?
I don't know, what's the prize in this EDH tournament? This deck has an infiltration lens. I should probably take this out.
A Force of Will is the prize.
I don't want to Force a Will.
A What value would you?
I don't know.
Okay, no, that force will is a prize, and you have to play this tournament. Would you?
I have to play? They're forcing me to play in this tournament?
You can play your elf deck, or you can play this one. Your elf EDH or your Godo EDH.
Who else is in this tournament? A bunch of people I don't know?
Yeah, a bunch of people you don't know.
I don't know. How many rounds? Or is it just one game?
It is 5 rounds total.
5 rounds of EDH? I'm not entering this tournament.
4 rounds total.
It's like, that's still like
3 rounds.
6 hours.
It's 8-man. Do you even want to play EDH?
It's one-on-one?
One-on-one, yeah.
Oh, I just played the elf deck.
If it's
Or the
multiplayer?
druid deck. It doesn't matter then because it's multiplayer. Let's pick a random deck. I play anybody's deck.
Alright, so we're looking at our hands. Corey's still in the tank.
Alright, so Corey's going to send his hand back. And Ben is...
Gonna keep? Looks like he has a vial and
Well, he has a vial. That's almost enough to make me keep.
vial, creatures. It's really funny how these hands just deplete so quickly in these games, and then they feel like they fill up quick too.
Well, I don't think they fill up quick. It feels like when they draw a card that's good, it's really good. It's like, oh, I just drew a 6/7 for 2 mana. Or I just drew Jace the Mind Sculptor, or I just drew a Stoneforge Mystic. Or I drew, all these cards, like these cards are so powerful and they're cheap. Yeah. Just drawing one of them can get you from being out of the game to being way ahead.
I'm like legacy news.
So how does Corey like his...
Might be better here. Yep.
Yep, he's on the play and he has a him, so I think he's gonna go for it. He also has a misstep for this card right here. Now he's got to be Fear and
Does
Daze.
Putrefy destroy artifacts too?
It does. It's artifact or creature. Oh, he's got to pay mana for the mental misstep, and I think he's got to get dazed.
Could be a mistake.
I think I see a daze.
Probably a daze, because otherwise wouldn't have been led off with mutable. He has a mutable on his hand.
Well, a lot of the creatures in the Merfolk deck, they're double blue. So lead off with an island is fine. Oh, he's got a brainstorm.
Ben's thinking if he wants to daze.
Ben's thinking. He's thinking, is this the opportunity? Is this the spell I should daze?
When you think this long, don't you just do it then?
No. Ben's an avid thinker. He lets it go.
Ben doesn't want to get hit in the rock.
Now Corey may think that, Ben actually has a daze. So now he's, thinking, hey, should I play this him to Turok on turn 2? Should I even try to misstep this Aether Vial? And I can just destroy it later.
Corey, Misty Rainforest, Polluted Delta. Couple options, another Brainstorm.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's actually turn 2. I thought it was still turn 1. But it's turn 2. We've progressed into the mid game.
And him and Turok. Should be daze. If there's a daze in there, I imagine that's what Ben does.
Maybe I didn't see a daze. I see a Force of Will. But still gets 2 cards. Or at least it's the 2 cards that you want.
Oh, no days. Here goes 2 cards.
Yep. So now we get to... Are we rolling dice? Oh, he stacks the cards up. I like this method. It's a lot faster. He discards 2 mystery cards.
And draws a smell purification. And the cephalid emperor, or is it
Luan.
Luan
Is that
cephalid
Luan?
empress? Is that what is the full name?
Yes.
That's what he draws right there. On Corey's side.
Yep, Luan costs 4, so next turn, if that Luan sticks...
Doesn't do much.
Well, it stops. It will bounce whatever is already in play, but it, you know.
Vial helps.
Ooh, there's a wasteland on one of the undergrounds. So he just lets it go. Does he not float? Not even floating the mana. Okay, so he floats the mana. He casts Brainstorm.
Sees 3 wastelands with this brainstorm. That's a couple wastelands right there.
Wastelands aren't the best card in the world against Merfolk.
Yeah, it's the matchup you want to see at the least. It does have targets, but it's one of the matchups you just don't want to. You don't really care as much for it.
Corey's thinking a long time about what else to do. Just thinking. Oh, but now he passes the turn.
There you go. So 3 for Mutavaults.
I'm probably wrong.
Brings Corey down to 15. I think Corey might want to shuffle away some of those cards he brainstormed up.
Maybe he wants them all back. Maybe they were that good.
Surprised Corey isn't on a Stoneforge based deck. Took him success to the Grand Prix, and the Grand Prix once already.
Maybe he didn't get the memo. Maybe he forgot what he put on top of his deck.
He's like, what did I put? I think he knows those
Let's see if he peeks while he's searching for his land.
He knows he put those 2 wastelands on top. Alright, Corey is going to get a Bayou. So Corey will have enough land now after he plays his own wasteland.
Just to go for the Putrefy?
Could go for Putrefy. It might be probably good because you want to get rid of the Vial, and then next turn you would go for the Empress.
It's a nice curve as long as there isn't any days in the way. Is there a Putrefy?
I believe I saw a Putrefy.
I see a Dark Blast.
So we're looking at 5 damage right here. Corey's sitting at 14 right now.
Yeah, I see 2 land of Dark Blast in the Luan. I don't see a Putrefy. Maybe it was.
Maybe the Dark Blast is what I thought was Putrefy. Dark Confident picked up for Corey.
So Corey's still contemplating what to do while he plays the land.
It's
1,
going to be a him
2,
or Dark Confidence.
Dark Confidence.
Dark Confidence.
That's why you really don't want to resolve. Ben doesn't look too happy about that.
Ben doesn't have anything to put into play with.
And he's drawing a lot of spell pierces. Ooh, look at that. Is that a
Dismember?
Dismember?
The new double black Phyrexian mana plus 1 colorless for -5/-5 on target creature.
So he pays 4 life for that.
Cracks in at Corey. And that Ben has a Spell Pierce and a, what is it, Force of Will in his hand. And once again, Ben just bringing the beats with one creature.
That's all it takes.
Chase the Mind Sculptor.
First, gonna have to pull the trigger on one of these spells.
Doesn't one? Alright. Cracks it. If you're gonna risk it, don't you just play Chase here? Because Lamar doesn't really do much, he just bounces Lord to put it back into play.
Yeah, it bounces it and blocks it pretty well.
Does Island Walk apply to...
Not
oh no,
that
that's other
Lord.
ones, yeah. That's
Just-
other ones. Well, we'll see what Corey goes for, and then we'll see what Ben's reaction to it is. He is thumbing through both of his 4-drop blue cards.
Yeah, I think Jace might be the better play because it also gives him the opportunity to easily double Dark Blast.
It doesn't matter just because of Spell Pierce.
Yeah, Ben couldn't wait to get one of those spell pierces out of his hand.
So now Ben is left with another Spell Pierce plus a Force of Will in his hand. Corey picks up a Polluted Delta for his turn. He's like, should I go for the one? And Ben doesn't care. He's like, yup. Puts it back to play. I'll just beat you down with Mutavault. Mutavault. And plays the other island. Lord staying back. Corey's trying to do some Dark Blast action. Corey Dark Blast, the Lord of Atlantis, mills away a Putrefy, a Putrefy, Brainstorm, and a Mental Misstep. Dark Blast is going to get Force of Will with a Force of Will and Spell Pierce. So the Lord looks like he's going to live. In the process, Corey milled away stuff. The Polluted Delta is dead now. This Corey's going to drop to 1 life here. Didn't see what Ben drew for his turn.
I don't know what
it is. And from Merfolk, Corey Mcduffie falls to Ben's start. 2 games to 0.
Go fishy, fishy, fishies. Look at him. He's so happy. It's like, I won this game. I am so happy. Okay, maybe he's not that happy. He's probably explaining exactly how he won that game.
Merfolk didn't do anything too spectacular that game, and he